social media. And so I guess my question is,
Mhm.
what did your parents do to instill such a great faith in their children
Yeah.
that allowed you guys to all be walking with the Lord and just form that close knitted family? Because I
Yeah.
think that's what we all want. Like
Yeah,
all
me
Christian
too.
families
For my
want.
sons. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I get
like
it.
so what did they do?
I will say there are two things that come to my mind. One is an intangible, and that is uh, consistency and integrity. That was one thing that we didn't see our parents behave one way outside of the house, and then they came home there was just duplicity. We did not see that.
Yeah.
And now as an adult, particularly a preacher's kid adult, I realize the rarity and the value of being able to say my parents were the same at home as they were at church.
That's good.
They were not perfect. They said, they've told us they would go back and do something differently. But I think because overall they just had integrity and character,
Yeah.
it didn't put a distaste in our mouth for ministry, for church. We didn't think ministry was a job. Like it never even occurred to us ministry is something you decide to do.
Yeah.
Because it was just an overflow of, they were living the whole thing that they were describing to other people and encouraging them around family dynamics. So that intangible of integrity, I think, is huge. The other thing is they chose a few things we were going to do together as a family, and they consistently showed up to do it. Meaning, mom was going to make some dinner, and we were going to sit around the table and have dinner. It didn't matter if we had attitude problems. It didn't matter if we liked the way she made the chicken tonight. And it was frustrating. And now I have an appreciation for it because I know how it feels you made dinner and somebody has the nerve to sit down and they don't want what you made.
Yeah. Wow.
To still do it the next day anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
To still sit there anyway. Nobody wants to talk. Everybody mad. Everybody don't want to go watch TV. But you're going to make them sit down at this table and we're going to eat this dinner.
That's good.
Okay. So there is a closeness that develops simply because the parents decide this what we doing. And it doesn't matter whether you want to or not. Your desire to do it has no bearing on whether or not your father and I are making this choice that we are doing it as a part of our family culture. So they chose that. There was like family dinner during which dad, because he's dad, would always do like a 2-minute devotional. And I want to say that very lightly because whatever you think it would look like to have a 2-minute devotional with 4 small kids, that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
It wasn't Priscilla Shirer and Anthony Evans sitting around the table and partaking in the word.
Yeah.
It was chaos. Okay. So there's forks flying, Jonathan's crawling under the table, mom's pulling him up. They had to keep smacking, get your elbows off the table, listen to what I'm saying, repeat back to me. It was a mess.
Yeah.
They did it anyway.
Yeah.
And now I know how exhausting that was for them to keep doing it. Yeah. We did a family vacation every year, Dad's month. Still to this day, his vacation month is August. We would get in a van that we would borrow because they didn't have no minivan. They didn't have a van. So they would borrow this van. We would get into it and basically be gone for 3 weeks, traveling, driving to Baltimore where his people are so that we could see our grandparents and cousins up there. And then we would pick different places every summer. They'd map it out. That's exhausting.
Yeah, it is.
To have 4 small kids in a van driving across country.
Man.
They did it anyway.
Wow. This is convicting.
Yeah. I mean, I just think their choices to decide, here's what our family is going to do, and that it is irrelevant on whether or not the children want to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That developed this, we together, it's us.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Jerry and I are the same way in that, there are things that, and he didn't grow up with that kind of a family dynamic. They were together a lot, but not like in a vacation kind of way.
Yeah.
They were together a lot because it was a single parent home and they had to do what they had to do to make the house work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was me. We was together because we had to be together.
Right. But they wasn't sitting around playing no Uno and all that it's game night. Yeah. He was like, game night. You know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So however it works for you, just I think being intentional about how do we make our children, we gonna watch the television together.
Yeah.
Like, it was easier when we were coming up, y'all, because it wasn't phones everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Now it's going to be super hard as parents. It's hard for me to be like, no, we're not going to be on our devices all separate everywhere.
Yeah.
We're going to sit down together and watch this program. This is our program together as a family. I think any ways that you're able to just pull that into your family dynamic, this is what we do.
Yeah.
That starts to just make the siblings have to get over their tiffs with each other, go through the tiffs with each other. I don't like you. That's fine. Y'all still finna sit here and watch this show, or eat this dinner. So
That's good. That's good. One more question.
Fantastic.
Yeah.